Three different men, same backstory, one goal, and that is revenge. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Travis Bickle, played by Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver, directed by Martin Scorsese, Fight Club, Edward Norton, and Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker. All three of these characters are characters that gets smashed up by society, pushed around by society, and they got to take their revenge, whether that's Taxi Driver trying to clean up the streets, Edward Norton in Fight Club, Brad Pitt, whatever, starting Project Mayhem, getting revenge on society, and the Joker starting his whole revolutionary movement from on society, on Gotham. And by the way, all three of these movies are cinematic masterpieces. I love all three. Like, literally all three of these movies are awesome. Joker, I feel like Joker slept on these days, though. I low-key have a feeling Joker is slept on. We recognize Taxi Driver, we recognize Fight Club, although Fight Club is getting like TikTokified, but I feel like there's not enough eyes on the Joker. So if you haven't seen the Joker, go give the Joker by Todd Phillips a watch. It's going to be one of the greats. It's one of those movies we look back on 50 years later, like we look back on Taxi Driver and say, damn, this is good. It's one of the best like Batman movies out there. But back to the characters and the movies, cinematic masterpieces. The shots, the characters. I don't know why men are drawn to these characters. And if you're not drawn to them, I'm not speaking for all men, but a lot of men are drawn to Fight Club, whether that be his physique, his way of life, the way, like the revenge story kind of, Taxi Driver. Because I feel like a lot of these people relate to and have an idea of where they're coming from, and that's kind of the story. And obviously, don't take anything from these movies, like do it yourself. I'm saying like these characters are relatable for the average person, and that's why these characters in movies are cinematic masterpieces. And thank goodness we had the directors with the capability to carry out the story and portray it on the movie screen with such influence. Perfect, almost perfect movies, all three of them. But I'd say Taxi Driver and the Joker are a little bit more sadder. Like, I wouldn't recommend it for women. I'd recommend it for men, but even if you're just appreciating movies or you want something to inspire you to look on and just like, you know, I don't know, enjoy. But for me personally, the Joker and Taxi Driver are more like sadder, more down to earth. While Fight Club, people love it because obviously Brad Pitt's in there with his physique, and it's more like you smile through it. Damn, like fuck. It's hard to explain. Like, you get inspired, you get motivated seeing that movie. Whether Joker or Taxi Driver, you see the art, but deep down you kind of see a character that is a little bit more relatable to you. But all three of these characters' faces are iconic. I see all three of these movies as masterpieces and some of my favorite. And A tier on the juice test. All three of these movies are A tier on the juice test. They all have their stories. They all have their revenge stories, which makes this these work of art so much more powerful. So let's basically go over them right now. We got Taxi Driver, a Vietnam veteran, comes back home, has trouble making friends, connecting with people. I'm pretty sure he's suffering from insomnia. He tries to get a girlfriend, that doesn't work out. He sees New York City. He feels like it's his duty to clean up the streets. But in reality, he's kind of a fucked up guy, to be honest. He's a pretty fucked up guy, struggling with his own internal conflicts. All three of these characters are struggling with internal conflicts. And Taxi Driver, it's his role, his revenge story, to clean up the streets, take his gun around, you know, slay, do his thing. And then in Fight Club, he has his revenge story where he believes it's the government, it's society, it's this capitalistic view that we have on the world. We buy a bunch of things that we don't need. We're consumers. We're consuming none of this stuff we actually need. Before we were cavemen, that why did we need this desk? Why did we need cars? We got our feet. Like, that's his kind of point of view. And he struggles with insomnia. He has trouble building relationships. He goes to therapy groups because he doesn't have any friends. He's that fucked up in the head. He created his own friend, Tyler Durden, and they start something called Project Mayhem to carry out his like revenge story of ruining society and tearing it down and bring everything back to zero. So because that his worldviews are we don't need these things. Why do we have them? Let's make a more authentic life. So he wants to take down all the credit card companies and fulfill his adventure with Project Mayhem. And then we go to the most recent one in 2017 or 2019, the Joker. Okay, it goes to the backstory of the Joker. Very interesting, very interesting. I love the connections. Beautiful, just beautiful. I haven't seen this movie since it came out, so I think I gotta give it a rewatch. But the Joker, he has a disability. He laughs a lot. It kind of goes with the story. He doesn't make friends. He has to go see a psychiatrist. You got to see his counselor. You got to take his pills. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have friends. He lives with his 80-year-old mom. He has a clown job, like on the street advertising. Like, life's not going his way. He gets beat up in the beginning of the story in Gotham by some kids. It doesn't seem like anything is getting better for him. His career in comedy doesn't work out. You know, kind of society turns its back on him. They laugh in his face. They kick him around. It's his duty to get his revenge and start a revolution, because he sees these rich people with money. In reality, it's not really the rich people, it's just kind of the mean people. But he gets his gun, he shoots the co-host in the face, Robert De Niro, shout out him, and Taxi Driver as well, and he starts this whole movement against society, starting riots, burning cars all around Gotham. All of these characters struggle with internal conflicts and resolve them with revenge against society. Finish this video with one last thing, and that's going to be that go watch all the 3 of these movies. If I have to rate these movies out of 3, I'm honestly gonna put it Joker, Fight Club, Taxi Driver. We know that Taxi Driver is iconic, but I'm having a more enjoyable experience watching the Joker than I am Taxi Driver, and then Fight Club second. But that's just me. All of these movies are A tier on the juice list. Give all of these movies a watch, and if you're a man struggling with internal conflict, I guess, don't carry out these things, but just watch these movies if you want to see something relatable. Anyways, I love you all so much, and hope you had a good time watching these videos. Drop me a sub if you want to, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.